This podcast contains graphic content. Listener caution is recommended. Specifically, today's episode of Choosing the Bear contains themes and discussion of domestic violence, suicide, and murder. Hello, welcome to Choosing the Bear, a true crime podcast. My name is Lois, and with me is my co-host slash brother Daniel. Today's episode is on the murder of Clare Wood. So, hiya, Daniel.
Hiya, Lois.
Hiya.
Hiya.
I was about to say how's your week been, but it's only Monday.
Yeah, but in terms of like since we last spoke, a week's been.
That was it Friday? No, it wasn't Friday.
No, it was like a week and a bit ago now.
OMG.
We did two back to back and then took a week off.
Oh yeah, we've had like a holiday. I have actually had kind of like a holiday from, I mean, I still have my normal job, but like I haven't done any research in a long while. So I need to get my ass back into gear.
Well, no, you've got plenty of time.
So have you got anything to say?
It sounds like you're accusing me of something. No, I've got something I want to talk about, but that's in like the after bit because it's...
Oh my god, Jay, because you messaged me about that. You said it on FaceTime.
Listen, FaceTime, it's nothing major. It's just something that I spoke to my girlfriend about the other day. It's about a TV show. All right. TV. It's about a TV show that I watched and I really want to get someone else's opinion on it. So, little tease for later. No.
Oh, how am I going to give an opinion on it then?
Well, you'll find out when we get to it. That's the point.
I have started rewatching American Horror Story Asylum though, and oh my god. I don't really know how I used to watch that because I'm a bit like, this is a bit...
Apparently it's mega cringe.
Graphic. No.
Is it not? I thought it was actually like if you watch as a teenager and you go back to watch it now, you realise that it's quite... Ew. That's like Bridge to Terabithia. I rewatched Bridge to Terabithia recently. Oh, Lois, it's a real...
Oh no, don't.
No, it is. It really is. Like, I watched it and I showed my girlfriend it for the first time. She was like, "You enjoyed this?" And I was like, "Listen, I was a kid." But like the girl in it, genuinely, oh, she's such a fucking cringe, man. It's really bad. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. I think, not to spoil Bridge to Terabithia, a film that came out fucking like 20 years ago or so. But not to spoil it. But you remember that moment and you're like, oh, what a banger. But all the stuff beforehand is sort of just a bit...
I mean, that is the only part... I know what you're talking about, but that is the only part that I remember out of the film.
Exactly. And that's why everyone's like, oh, it's such a good film. You watch it and you're like, oh, God, it's actually just... Until that point, from that point onwards, it's really cool. But, yeah. So I've got nothing else. I'm just in a good mood today. I've had a good day at work. Things have gone all right today at work. Perked me up. So yeah, I'm just in a good mood. What about you?
I watched... I'm in an all right mood. I mean...
Good.
I'm grateful for life, so what's not to be in a good mood about? Yesterday, me and my boyfriend watched The Damned United, and it's a football film. Whoa. And I fear I asked like so many questions more than what I did during the MCU watch.
Really?
Probably for the first 15 minutes, I was literally just asking about 40,000 questions, but... One of the men in it, I recognise... Oh, God, this is actually, like, a bit embarrassing. But I recognised the voice, and I was like, oh, I know that voice. I know it. And it turns out that the man plays Brian the Snail in The Magic Roundabout.
Jim Broadbent.
Oh, I can't remember his last name, but his name is Jim.
Jim Broadbent.
Oh, my God, what an absolute icon. I also love The Magic Roundabout.
So, wait, was it... Magic Roundabout is a banger. Do you know what? I'm going to add that to my rewatch list.
Oh, my God, I rewatched that not long ago.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. So, was it an actual film or like a documentary?
No, it was an actual film.
Oh, see, I thought when you put it in the chat, it was a documentary, and I thought, how boring.
No, it's an actual film.
I see, right.
It's about Leeds.
Leeds United.
And what was the other club? Derby County.
Oh, the Derby County.
And then I've also started reading Twilight because I want to get into reading, and oh my God, I'm in love.
I'd like to get into reading, you know. I think you've inspired me.
Yeah, I've been wanting to find a book for ages. I got the Wicked book as a present for Christmas, but I don't want to read that until I've watched part 2, even though I know that the book is drastically different.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I presume like the storyline's still the same, but some things are a bit different.
Some things have changed within her.
Somewhat from what the streets have told me.
Cool. All right then.
Yeah, so I just started reading Twilight. I bought it in TK Maxx for $6.99. But if you ever want to get a book, have a look on Vinted, because there's a book I want to get and it's only £1.
Why are you an advert right now for books? What's this
Be kind to your mind.
Shut up.
Right. Shall we begin? Have you got anything else to say?
I've got nothing else to say until afterwards. So, let's get into today's topic.
I'm sorry, what I'm leaning against is somehow squeaking, so...
Did you introduce the topic, by the way, in the intro?
Yes. Yes. Why were you not paying attention?
Evidently not, no. I blanked.
You fucking dick.
Sorry.
Right. Clare Wood was described as the, quote, most kind, gentle, generous person you could ever wish to meet. She was born in Batley, West Yorkshire, and at the age of 15, she was adopted by Michael and Sheila Brown. Michael and Sheila welcomed Clare into their family, and their son Adam quickly formed a relationship. Sadly, Sheila died of cancer in February 2015. I also don't have Clare's date of birth in here, so I'm unsure how old she was when Sheila died.
Right.
Clare grew up in Batley but moved to Manchester when she was older. There she got married and welcomed a baby girl named Madeline. Michael said, which is Clare's like adopted dad, said, quote, things didn't work out within the marriage and she ended up going to Carlisle before moving back to Manchester to be closer to her daughter. She was happy as Larry and had a place with a garden for her daughter. Clare then forms a connection with a new man on Facebook named George Appleton. They began a relationship which lasted 6 months. However, one day out of the blue, Clare and George showed up at Michael's house. Michael, quote, took an instant dislike to him. The couple had just come from Clare's brother's Adam's house. I feel like that sentence is a bit weird. Michael asked what Adam's opinion was of George, and he shared the same opinions as his dad. Quote, we didn't like him and want anything to do with him. Michael was a prison officer at the time, and once Clare told him he had previously been arrested for motor offences, Michael got curious. Due to his job, he couldn't be seen reporting with ex-cons. Michael told Clare not to bring George around him or his house again. Clare understood this as it could negatively interfere with his job. Despite this, Michael still frequently went to visit his daughter and granddaughter in Manchester. In October 2008, Clare ended the relationship with George after finding out he'd been unfaithful to her. After her murder, Michael found a letter that was intended for George but was never sent. It read, quote, there is no easy way to say this, but I don't want to be with you. Too much has happened. I am so unhappy. I am at the stage where I don't even like you touching me, and that feeling is never going to go. You still scare me, and I can't be with someone I am frightened of. Don't contact me. That's the way it needs to be. I need to get on with my life. If you have any feelings for me, you will let me do this. Don't use this as an excuse to go off the rails. Bear in mind you were lucky enough not to go to prison again, and I did give you the chance, and I had to do this by letter because you won't listen to me at all. I have told you before how I feel and you have chosen to ignore it, hoping it will go away. It hasn't. I have to consider my daughter. Also, and after all you've done, I can't have you back. It's not fair on her, and she knows it. She knows it, would never be happy with you. She can never trust you either. Take care. I mean it. Clare.
God.
Oof.
A well thought out letter.
It's just like a spill of emotions.
Yeah.
2 months before her murder, Clare visited her dad for Christmas. She told him that George was, quote, making a nuisance of himself. I told her to pack up her things and come back here. Despite Clare ending the relationship, George refused to move on. He continued to abuse, harass her, damaging her property, threats of violence and attempted rape. Clare reported incidents to the police after the attempted rape. She then had a panic alarm installed in her home. A week before her murder, George was arrested for smashing down her front door. Clare obtained a restraining order too, but George wouldn't stop harassing her. And this like makes me just want to burst into tears, because it's like, imagine being harassed constantly in your own home, and then when you have a child, like a young child as well. And, oh God, I can't.
It's all because, you know, that place is meant to be your sanctuary, you know, your safe space. And that's constantly under siege, essentially, constantly threatened. Restraining orders in place as well, did you say?
Yeah, and he continued to harass her.
Oh God, yeah, because that's the restraining order. You know, they're in place then to make you feel more secure. Like, this person cannot come within, you know, a certain distance of you. And when they're still breaking that, and they're aware that they have that, the fear must be stronger than ever, to be honest.
And then it's also knowing that, like, even though you've got a restraining order against him, it's still not enough. So what will be enough to make him stop harassing?
How far can you go before he actually stops and listens? You've gone quite far already, and he's still carrying on.
Yeah, because the only thing further than a restraining order is him being arrested. Not arrested, but like actually put into prison.
Yeah.
On the 5th of February 2009, Michael, Claire's dad, got a phone call from his ex-son-in-law. He was concerned as he hadn't heard from Clare. So this is who she was married to before, but then she moved back to Manchester. I couldn't find the actual date that Claire's body was found, but I'd presume the emergency services would have been called the same day. Michael said, quote, "Next thing I know, I'm leaving my place of work, HMP Leeds. I get a telephone call to say my daughter's body has been found." Claire was strangled by George and then set on fire. Police immediately began searching for George. 6 days later, his body was found hanging in an abandoned pub, and his death would be ruled as a suicide.
Oh my God. That really, every sort of like word you said then sort of went away I wasn't expecting. The murder, I understood that was going to happen, of course, because that's what we're discussing. Setting on fire, absolutely not. And then him, you know, ending up taking his own life in a pub. Like that, I don't know, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, I think there's like a deep, I don't know, like killing someone obviously is deep, but then setting their remains on fire.
There's an extra level to this now.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. You
like
crossed one line.
It's like trying to completely get rid of, like hoping they just go to ashes almost.
Yeah, fully discard.
It just takes it a step further to kill someone and to then like try and get rid of their remains, so that hopefully she maybe he tried to do it so to like cover up so that she wouldn't be discovered.
Get rid of any like DNA evidence that he had as well, maybe. Oh God.
Maddie, Claire's daughter, was 10 at the time of her mum's death. She remembers being taken out of class to the head teacher's office where her dad was waiting for her. In an interview, she said, quote, "I didn't really understand what had happened. The police later asked me questions about George, and then there were fears he would try and contact me. So I went to stay with my granddad. It would be a few years later when I really started to understand."
God, that's
and how
really
awful to lose your mum at any age, but like 10 years old as well.
Yeah, it's horrible regardless of what age you are. However, when
definitely.
you're a child in those sort of like upcoming formative years, you know, like in terms of like you're about to become a teenager soon in a couple of years' time, and without that sort of motherly guidance for a daughter as well, you got that obviously that mother-daughter sort of relationship. To not have that because someone stole it from you, it's not as if it's like, oh, she passed away from an illness or whatever. Like, this was preventable if this man didn't do what he did. That makes sense.
And being that it was only Claire and Maddie living together, you would presume that they would like be really close. George was known to police before he met Claire. However, due to the Data Protection Act, these offences were kept confidential, including 3 prison sentences. He served 6 months for failing to comply with a restraining order, 2 years for harassment, 6 years, quote, for holding a woman at knife point for 12 hours.
Oh my God. Whoa.
That's just, that's
12 hours.
Yeah, I cannot imagine the absolute torture that must have felt like.
If you break that down, actually, like break 12 hours down, you're like, oh, it's fine, whatever. Like, break that down and break that scenario down, pair the two together. That's genuinely horrendous.
Even sometimes when you think, oh, like 12 hours ain't that long, but then when you put it into the context of someone nearly killing you, holding a knife to you,
that constant fear,
that would
adrenaline,
feel
yeah,
like an eternity.
that's fucking awful.
The Independent Police Complaints Commission launched an inquiry and concluded that Clare had been let down by, quote, individual and systematic, unquote, failures by Greater Manchester Police. Michael began campaigning for better laws and more protection for those who are in a domestically abusive relationship. He wanted police to have the power to disclose information to potential targets of abuse if their partner had a history of domestic violence. After 5 years of campaigning, Michael changed the law, introducing Clare's Law. Clare's Law allows a right to ask, allowing members of the public, including a partner, to request information from the police about a potential abuser. The law also allows police to disclose information to those who request it. This information includes if their current or ex-partner has any previous history or violence or abuse. Allegations made against the individual can also be disclosed. Once the information is requested, it should be disclosed within 28 days. Police will act immediately if at any point they think the person you know is at risk and is in need of protection from harm. Information can only be given to someone who is in a position to use it to protect you from any abuse.
So,
Go ahead.
wait, I thought you were done with the law. Carry on.
No, I finished that paragraph.
Oh, that's a very good law.
Yep, we thank Michael every day for that law.
I don't know. Again, I sound so stupid at this at times because I'm like, I don't know that existed, but like, I didn't know that existed, and that's so good that that's a thing now. See, the term Clare's Law, I feel like I have heard, but I didn't know what the law actually entailed. I think it's just one of the things where I've heard of it and then not actually seen, what it
like
does,
what it is.
Yeah.
To make an application, you can call 101. This is the UK's police non-emergency number. You can also visit your jurisdiction's police website, so like West Midlands, Greater Manchester, Sussex, I don't know any other off the top of my head. Or you can just visit a police station. Police will take details during the application. If a crime is alleged, police may investigate and arrest the partner/person mentioned. The application is assessed to see if immediate action is needed to be taken, meaning if someone is in immediate and/or serious danger. A face-to-face meeting is then set up to discuss the information that's being disclosed. Police will collaborate with other safeguarding agencies such as the Prisons Service and Probation Service. This can help police determine the relevant information to disclose and to ensure that they've got all the information available. Even if the checks don't result in any information, those who are still concerned about their relationship or someone is showing concerning behaviour, police can refer them to other agencies for further support. Information may also be disclosed even if it isn't requested. If police believe the partner is putting someone at serious risk of harm, they'll disclose the information.
See, this is the thing, right? This all sounds great. So it annoys me that when the system lets people down because there are these things in place, right? This all sounds, sort of, I don't want to say bulletproof, but do you know what I mean? Like a solid system.
Yeah, it sounds great.
That should be utilised. And it annoys me then that when the system fails people, because you've got stuff like this that can really work, and can really help. So when people are let down in other ways, it's like there are ways around this and there are things you can do to be put in place that can help people. It's just using that and making sure that the system works, and it isn't just, I don't know, like last week when people were let down because it was a monetary value to not explore.
Yeah, user
stuff.
Resources.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just makes you think.
As recently as the 7th of March 2024, Maddie did an interview for the BBC. The BBC also launched an investigation and found that people who had submitted an application had been waiting hundreds of days for a response instead of the expected 28 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's such a shame.
What I just said sort of then just revealed itself in the next paragraph. That's awful shit.
Because obviously on I mean, like, the law itself is great, but like how it's executed
Yes.
isn't always the best.
Yeah, so sort of my words sort of made redundant, I guess.
Because time is the most, you can't I'm not saying that like the police are lazy. I'm just
No.
I mean, they could be, certain jurisdictions could be overloaded with applications and stuff, and then it is resources, but it is like it should be prioritized.
Yeah, especially with these cases that can go from like steady climb to suddenly like you're in immediate danger. You know, like these things are very, I don't know, volatile, is that the right word to use? Sensitive, I don't know. But basically like quick to change is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Maddie said it was frustrating to see Clare's law was, quote, not being used to the correct potential. In January of 2024, Wiltshire Police admitted that people had come to harm after the force's failings of processing 3,582 applications.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just horrific. In July 2020, Michael Brown died at the age of 76 after a short illness. Michael's sister Carol said, quote, Michael never stopped fighting after he lost his daughter in such horrific circumstances. He didn't want anyone else to suffer the same fate she did, and always said if he could save just one person from a life of domestic abuse, then his campaigning has been worth it. In early 2020, Michael was awarded a British Citizen Award for his campaigning. Oh, that makes me literally want to cry.
Bless him, what a guy.
I know. I'm sure the statistics don't really exist, but just imagining how many lives he has saved
Yeah,
from
you
the
dread
law
to
that
think
he... Yeah.
if like he didn't actually be an activist for this sort of thing and get the laws in place, what could have happened? It's a really, do you know what? That's actually a really scary thought, you know. If this law didn't pass, I mean, like, what could have been for some people?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And because with some people you don't know.
Yeah,
Like, not all abuse is obvious.
absolutely not.
In June 2020, a Canadian version of Clare's law was written into legislation, known as the Interpersonal Violence Disclosure Protocol Act. Residents can ask police to release information on an intimate partner's past violent or abusing behaviour. It also includes criminal convictions and a history of police responding to any domestic violence complaints. This information can also be disclosed to people identified by police to be at risk. As of March 2023, there were 45,344 applications to Clare's Law in England and Wales. 17,438 applications resulted in information being disclosed. Clare's Law is also in Scotland, but is called Disclosure Scheme for Domestic Abuse Scotland. In the words of Michael, quote, the last moments of my daughter's life were her kicking and screaming, trying to get away from Appleton. My daughter died because some man couldn't understand the word no. Isn't it horrendous and worrying to think how many people can relate to that? And that is the case of... I always say the case of the murder of. That don't make sense, but that is the story behind Clare's Law. And in the pictures that I'll post on Instagram and TikTok, I will, because there's like leaflets about it, but the leaflets aren't really the best. I posted on TikTok before, but I think I'll just like write a little bit myself about it, because it's like a big page and like one paragraph, and I feel like people wouldn't really read that.
Right. Okay.
So I'll write a little bit to summarise all myself.
Yeah, so this one was more, like, not to detract from the murder, but more like an overview of how that law came to be, sort of thing. Yeah.
Like, people do say that like laws are written in blood. Meaning that like someone has to be injured or murdered or something
for it to take place.
Something to change. Yeah.
Jesus, what a horrible.
Even like just like health and safety stuff, like like at work.
Yeah. Things have to happen for things to change. Most of the times,
which is sad. Like it would have been brilliant if this law could have been
mustered up from people's brains. Of just actual fact, as opposed to a reaction to an event.
If you like Google Clare's Law, one, like, you know, sometimes then you get like suggested Google questions. Another one, I'm pretty sure it's called April's Law. I'm going to quickly double check April's Law because I don't want to be giving false information.
False info.
Oh, here we go. It's giving me an AI.
I love AI.
Right, there's two different ones.
Right.
April's Law. A campaign initiated by the family of April Jones, a 5-year-old girl killed by a sex offender, calls for offenders to remain on the register for life and for better policing of child abuse images online. Sarah's Law allows parents, carers or guardians to formally ask police for information about a person who has contact with their child or a child close to them if they're concerned the person may pose a risk.
Right.
Do you have anything else to speak upon?
It's a real shame that what happened had to happen for us to get that law. It's a real shame that law wasn't there for Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I seen, I actually screenshotted this. I'm actually glad I remember this now. But I seen a TikTok and it was about like domestic abuse. And one of the comments was, this should never be the price of wanting to be loved. And I was like, that like literally made me claps.
Horrible
Awful
stuff. Yeah.
So, shall we fly?
Let's fly.
Here we are.
Here we are.
We've arrived.
So, what's made you smile this week?
I'm actually quite unsure. However, actually, I just lied. One of the things that's made me smile is I've had another singing lesson, which I'm loving, and reading Twilight. And I don't really have anything. How am I this mentally blind? I have something that's made me smile. Ariana is releasing Eternal Sunshine Deluxe, Brighter Days Ahead.
Ladies, I cannot wait.
Oh God, I can't. I'm so excited. And she said that the last song on the album is one of the favourite ones she's ever written. And I'm like, oh my God. I need to hear it now. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, but what if that's not that good though? What if like, she says it's her favourite, but you listen to it and you're like, yeah, it's good. What if you're not like, oh, I love it, you know? A lot of Arianators didn't like one of her albums called Positions, but I loved that album. And like, because I have such a versatile range of taste when it comes to music, I like anything. So she would never let me down. Oh, you're so quirky.
That's just how I am.
You love to hear it.
I just want to be me. JC style, you know what I mean.
When's that coming out then?
Next Friday, Daniel, March 28th, my love. So,
wow,
get listening. And next week, I'm going to see Yumi at 6 for the final time, which is really sad.
Yeah, end of an era for Yamas.
I'm actually so sad. I had their tunes on the way back from work, and I was just like, oh my God. But I am going to be able to see Sucker Punch live, and oh my God, what a banger.
What about Underdog? Not Underdog, sorry. What was it? Loverboy. France, 2011. You'll always be remembered.
Yeah.
Save it on the laptop. What a classic.
Yeah, that was our sister. We went on like a caravan holiday to France, and I think like that song must have just came out or something, and she went to the little internet cafe on the camping site, got that song and then played it on repeat.
Yeah, she like downloaded
the whole night.
Using the internet and then come home, so then it was like already pre-downloaded on the browser, so she could just keep playing it. I mean, it's a good song, but like, you know, enough's enough.
That intro is just iconic. There it is. I have been loving the bridge on Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy.
That's a tune, that is. I remember that. Oh my
God, it is.
They used that during, this is so fucking nerdy, they used that song during the announcement of the 11th Doctor. They were like doing a big like sort of montage of all the Doctors from the first Doctor through to the 10th. And then like it showing David Tennant's face as like, whash. And then Matt Smith was there. Like, sick.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. Yeah, banger.
Ta-ta, David.
See ya, David.
David Platt.
You guys feel maybe you smile this week, or
what's made you smile this week, Daniel?
I'll tell you, Lois. Thank you for asking. I had some really good days of work last week that were really comforting for
Whoop,
me.
whoop.
Thursday and Friday, I felt like I was finally starting to click with my job, which was such a relief and such a delight to feel. And then that's sort of why I'm in the same good mood today as well, because I had the same sort of feeling. So that made me smile.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember Mrs. Brown did that? You probably didn't watch that episode.
No, probably not, Lois.
I don't really watch that. I mean, I do watch that shit, but just for comfort. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, yeah. Right, so the thing I mentioned. So there is a TV show. This is sort of relevant to the pod because it is about crime.
Oh my God, yes, I'm ready to listen.
Yeah, so it's not a true crime, but it is crime nonetheless. So a
Okay.
TV show came out last year called The Jetty. Okay?
Right, I've never heard of that.
It's on BBC iPlayer. It stars Jenna Coleman.
Right.
It's like a 4-part drama. Not very long at all.
Okay, God bless, I can do with that.
Exactly. Now, I watched it, and then something happened in it, and I was like, eh? What?
Eh?
What? So, basically, I need someone else, because my girlfriend just refuses to watch it. Pissing me off, to be honest. I really wanted to watch it, because I want to talk to someone about it, but she just won't do it. So, I throw it to you to watch The Jetty, and I need you to... It's hard to say without spoiling it, but something happens in it, and I can't tell if it was a twist, or am I just fucking stupid?
How long are the episodes?
Like an hour.
For 4 hours, I can do that.
Like, I genuinely, I don't know if what happens in it is a twist that happened late in the game, or was I just really blind? But, like, I can't tell, right, if it, like, genuinely, the people went out to make it as, like, oh, here's a cool twist, or they were like, this is that plot point, you know? When it happened, I genuinely was like, what? But that don't make sense. So, yeah, I need someone, anybody, to watch The Jetty and come back to me. It's on BBC iPlayer. It's really good. Jenna Coleman. Gotta love
Is
the
it
girl.
based on true story?
No, I said that earlier if you were listening.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah.
This is why sometimes I'm glad that I do the research, because I feel like I'll be like, who's this? What's that?
Yeah, valid. But yeah, no, it's a crime TV show, so it's relevant to the pod. She plays a detective.
Oh, love that. I'll watch. I have started some new Real Housewives, but I can spare 4 hours.
Yeah, please do, because I really need people to know. And we'll discuss it on
Next
the
week.
podcast. Yeah, so we won't talk about it off air. Song recommendations, and then we'll wrap this mother up.
Oh, I was thinking about this. I'm unsure.
So, my one for the day is purely the song that I just listened to before we start recording. And that is Two-Faced by Linkin Park. Bit of a banger.
Is that from their new album?
It is, yeah. You got Mike Shinoda doing some cool raps, and then Emily Armstrong hitting some screams.
Her voice is absolutely unreal.
She's sick. She's so good. I can't wait to see them live.
When are you going to see that, Danielle?
I can't disclose the information, Lois.
Why?
It's funny. So that's mine of the day. Two-Faced by Linkin Park.
I'm going to go for... Because I don't want to do one that's, like, well-known, even though people are going to be like, oh my God, I know that fucking song. But my song is Whiskey on You by Nate Smith.
An interesting choice.
Yeah, it's a country rock song.
Rock on, bro. Rock
My
on.
cunt.
Yee-haw. That's what they say.
So yeah, that's my song of the week. Song of the week with Choosing the Bear. You say that.
Song of the week with Choosing the Bear.
I could put that as a little intro.
I wouldn't bother. Okay.
Also, I feel... Let me just quickly say this. Let me just quickly say two things. Number one, I realised I sound like a hypocrite because I said I don't drink fizzy drinks, and then I'm here like, oh my God, I love my soda stream. Anyway. And then...
That's so irrelevant. That didn't need to be brought back up at all, but fine.
And then the second one is sometimes it sounds like we're laughing, or like someone's going to laugh at a joke, but I have to cut it out because I don't know why, but sometimes it cuts it out. Like in the audio recording, it like cuts it out. Or you can just hear me like really faintly laughing. So anyway.
I think I know why that is.
Why?
I think you're laughing too loud. Like, genuinely. Like, I listened to some of episode 10, and I swear, because I remember you laughing really loud and it hurting my ears. I think it might genuinely just cut out because it like
oh my God,
exceeded a limit, I think. I mean, I don't know, maybe not. But like, I remember you laughing in particular, and it was really loud, and
yeah,
hurt
I
my
think I
ears.
can remember that.
Yeah.
I do have quite a loud laugh.
Yeah.
Laugh. I say laugh.
All right.
Laugh.
Okay.
Anyway, going right ahead.
Right. And that is it for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, please feel free to leave us a rating. That would be bloody lovely.
Thanks so much.
If you do want to, you can follow us on our socials. That's just the Instagram and TikTok, not Twitter. No one goes to Twitter anymore. Bin it off.
Or Facebooks.
Oh, yeah, no one uses Facebook unless you're 45. Okay, so that is Choosing the Bear on Instagram and Choosing the Bear Pod on TikTok. Thank you once again for listening. We'll see you next week.
The chick of the talk.
The chick of the talk. Bye-bye.